Now, we all have seen those images from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope. Do they add anything into this discussion of the beginning of the universe? Because I've seen some titles, some of them seem speculative, or what's the discussion it's going on?
There have been claims in the media that the evidence from the James Webb Telescope has undermined the case for the Big Bang theory, but these are largely based on a single article by an independent physics researcher who's been critical, trying to challenge the Big Bang since the 1990s. He wrote a book in 1991 called "Says the Big Bang Never Happened." So there's not actually anything new here. He's kind of using the James Webb to resuscitate some of his older skeptical theories about the theory. The guy's name is Eric Lerner, and what gave him some superficial plausibility in this was the discovery that the initial data from the James Webb is showing that there are more galaxies early on than we would have expected. And so that's surprising. And he quoted an astronomer from the University of Kansas out of context, and she said that this was keeping her up late at night and making her wonder if everything we'd thought was wrong. But she later clarified, she was talking about her theories of galaxy formation, not about whether or not there was an expanding universe outward from a beginning, namely the Big Bang theory. And so the media picked up on that and created a bit of a false narrative, I would say. In fact, what the James Webb has discovered is exactly what you would expect based on the Big Bang theory to this point. And that is that when we look at the galaxies, the very, very distant galaxies, that would also therefore be what they would have looked like a very long time ago, the radiation coming from them is extremely long wavelength. It's stretched out. And this is what we didn't talk about this earlier, but when the astronomers first discovered that the galaxies were moving away, what they were detecting was light that had been stretched out or red shifted. If you shine light through a prism, the long wavelength light is the red light, the short wavelength light is the violet. And so when the spectral lines of light coming from distant galaxies are shifted en masse towards longer wavelengths, towards the red end of that spectrum, astronomers say that light is red shifted. That happens when you have an object moving away. Just as the pitch of a sound of train whistle will drop if the train is moving away from us, the light and those sound waves will be stretched out. But in the case of light, as the waves are stretched out, they shift red. And so the problem, though, is that things are very, very far away. Then the light or the electromagnetic radiation coming from them will be shifted out of the visible range. It won't be in the red to violet range. It should be in the infrared range, which is super, or what I've called uber red shifted. Okay, very, very red shifted, and that's exactly what the James Webb has detected from these very, very ancient galaxies. In fact, there would be no ancient galaxies to discuss if the light weren't super redshifted, because the James Webb was constructed specifically to detect that kind of radiation. They have to supercool it to detect the infrared radiation, and the fact that it has detected light coming from very distant galaxies shows that the kind of radiation we would expect to be present is exactly the kind that's predicted by the Big Bang. And so there's actually a confirmation of the Big Bang theory in the data that are coming in already, not the opposite. So the media kind of missed this one. I have an article, it's up on my website, and it's at the Daily Wired right now. I wrote a short article explaining all this that your listeners and viewers might want to track down.